February regular council meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dilbert?
Here.
Trustee Guerrero is absent as well. Trustee Nona?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hashem? Here. President Meissen?
Here.
Treasurer Samowski?
Here.
And Clerk Hazel is here.
All right. Approval of the agenda. I'd like to make one amendment, and that would be to, or actually, I guess two amendments. Item number F under new business, office front and rear door readers. We're going to remove that from the agenda today. We were hoping to get a little bit of information, and we didn't get it in time, so we'll table that one. We'll remove it from the agenda. For closed session, I included the verbiage that we will be using for going into closed session. I would like to amend that to also add and to discuss a potential threat to litigation.
As a separate line item?
Yes, those are the two reasons. Two separate reasons for closed session.
To discuss potential what?
Litigation. Those are my only amendments.
I'll motion to approve the agenda as amended. Second.
I apologize. I did have another amendment, just hit me. I'd like to, so in lieu of the office front and rear door readers for item number F, let's make that Lions Hall architectural drawings. I just wanted to have a quick discussion on that. We did receive the drawings yesterday. May I have a new motion, please?
I motion to approve the agenda as amended again. Second again.
It has been moved and seconded twice that we approve the amended agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public comments on the agenda. Seeing none. Approval of the minutes. Item A, January 13th, 2026, CDBG public hearing minutes. We have a motion for approval.
I'll move to approve the January 13th minutes for the CDBG public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the meeting minutes from the January 13th CDBG public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item B, approval of the meeting minutes from the January 13th, 2026 regular meeting.
I move to approve the January 13th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the meeting minutes from the January 13th regular meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda, we did have a typo that Trustee Nona did find for the DPW report. The report was being updated and we accidentally left December as the heading on the report. So if anybody else caught that, it was just a slight typo. Otherwise, motion and order, please.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, payment of bills. bills, treasurer.
Approval of February 2026 payroll in the amount of $142,335.25, and bills to be paid for February 2026, $735,575.87, totaling of $877,911.12.
I do have a question on the payroll. I just noticed it this morning, and I didn't look into this at all, but I do notice that our payroll hangs around 100,000 a month, and we just spikes that jump up to 140, 150,000. And I'm just kind of figuring out, we're asking why. I looked at some of them, they were 5-week months, so that accounts for half of that, but I don't know where the other half came from. I just noticed it's always around 100, and then it just spikes up about 40, 50,000 random months.
There was a,
It was a quarterly paid on call, that spiked it. Quarterly paid on call for
Oh,
January.
okay, so it's about every 3 months I'll see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking DPW overtime as well.
And-
I thought that too, but then it was October, and I thought, well, we didn't have a lot of snow in
Oh.
October. So I'm just trying to, in my head, I'm trying to wrap my head around why it would spike, but that makes sense.
yeah, we did add another employee
Yeah.
for DPW.
Right, we do have the additional DPW employee that was hired in.
That's all I have.
Did we have a motion?
No.
Okay.
I'll move to pay the bills in the amount of $877,911.12.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay our bills in the amount of $877,911.12. Any further discussion on the motion? Just want to point out as well, same issue with the DPW report. One of the headings also did say December, but it was actually for January. Didn't update the header, that's all. All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee Paul?
Yes.
Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Hatchell? Yes. President Mason?
Yes. Treasurer's report.
Total village cash assets of $8,878,508.35.
I move to receive and file the treasurer's report as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and filed and supported that we receive and file the treasurer's report as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Paul?
Yes.
Trustee Hatchell? Yes. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. All right, communication committee reports, item A, clerk, what's it?
Items for the March agenda are ready in February.
Planning commission update, trustee Gilbert?
The planning commission met last week. We had a lengthy agenda. We dealt with site plan for maritime real property. They got an approval, a preliminary approval for their site plan. Macomb Auto didn't show. We set a public hearing for the Lennox Township Library. They want to rezone their property up on Main Street. We talked with Extra Credit Union. They gave a presentation on their remodeling of the old Rite Aid. We talked with AT&T about a new generator at the Michigan Bell building up on Main Street. There's some issues with all of them, and we think those issues are minor, and we can make them more internal instead of going through all these different site plans. And there's some things that I think administratively we can handle in-house. We talked about the data centers moratorium, and the planning commission has a recommendation for a new planning commissioner. That will be coming up on the agenda later on.
Thank you, trustee Gilbert. Parks and Rec update, trustee Guerrero is not here. So we are continuing to work through our programming for the early spring, summer, and the rest of the year. We do have the Easter egg hunt. Flyers are actually on the lobby doors out there. I don't remember the date, so I'm not gonna throw out the wrong one.
March 28th.
March 28th.
The last
March 28th at noon.
March 28th at noon. So we do have like 6,000 eggs for the kiddos, so plenty to go around. Bring your kids. We'll have different age groups allocated for the kids, so it should be a good time. I think that's it for Parks and Rec. We'll go into unfinished business. Item A, funeral home in Seaford update. Mr. Shaddy, if you want to come up. Did you want to come up too, or? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you wanted to see the metal on the roof, but in lieu of the below zero weather we've had, it kind of stymied some of that. So
Sure.
we kind of concentrate more or less just got the inside out through that time period. And did finish on the side. That's that whole wall's been replaced. And you can see what's been done on that. And Seaford House, some of the there's new steps on the front of it now. Like we've gotten some of the stuff in the back handle, but it was just too damn cold to really logically get to that. I mean, this week we have good weather, so there's gonna be a crew kind of all week in motion, so try to catch up on all that this week.
Okay. Mark, did you want to-
I did my monthly inspection at the end of the month, and none of the work was done that we previously talked about in November, except for the service was connected to the house. December's work wasn't completed, neither was January's. However, like you said, it was extremely cold, it was almost sub-zero most days, and there was an absolute ridiculous amount of snow left in January. So very little work was completed there at all. He does need to pull, I've already talked to him before the meeting started today, he does need to pull a roof permit for funeral home, because there was even though he did not demolish that back shed that was back
We
there.
did change the
They
pitch.
changed the pitch and added trusses, so it's not a re-roof in the back, it's a brand new roof, so he will have to pull a permit for that portion of the back. But aside from that, very little work was done in the month of January because of the temperatures.
And if I understand correctly, you did come in and you paid for,
Yeah,
What
that's
was-
safe for.
so the Balfour has been paid for, reimbursed, right?
So the board company he has paid that final bill, I believe yesterday.
Okay.
So it would be the recommendation of the building department with board approval to allow him to remove those boards. The windows, Mr. Shoddy has said that those windows have been repaired, so those will be not open to the weather anymore. So it is the building department's recommendation to go ahead and let him remove those boards at his own expense.
Board, what are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, it's been way too cold to do any outside roof for anybody. You can't expect the company to come out and do anything. So,
Yeah.
Like I said, this week we got good weather, so we're gonna try to catch up on, take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think that's why we were really hoping that a lot of this work was gonna be done a long time ago, prior to the winter, just so that we weren't gonna be in this situation. But, you know, understandably, it has been cold, there's been a lot of snow.
Usually it's not this froze this long.
Yeah. Are we comfortable with tabling it and giving him another month? Sounds like building department was also looking for a recommendation to allow him to remove the boards. That was on Seaford though specifically, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, all the windows have been repaired, so.
Board comfortable with that?
I think it's important that we continue to see progress,
Right.
you know, I mean, I understand January, I mean, but that was cold.
Oh, it was,
I don't think most of us were out.
I mean, we had days went out and tried and just, literally just spinning your wheels
See
and,
progress.
Yeah.
you know,
There is.
you spend more time trying to follow your fingers off.
Okay, all right, so it sounds like we have an agreement to allow him to continue the work and to remove the boarding on Seaford Home so that he can fix the windows. Okay. Is that,
fix the windows or he already?
No, windows are already fixed. You can put them in from the backs inside.
Yeah, no action needed from the,
So just, it'll look better with the boards off.
We changing the dates past or
yeah.
past March? Or is
The-
that still the estimated time of completion?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So, I mean, we're still aiming for March, to have all this done, or?
Yeah, March should have the roof all done. Like I said, this week's a catch up, but I mean, it's gonna be just constant. You know, and sometimes as you're going forth with these projects, sometimes you're running into things where you realize, okay, now the project just, it's a bigger project and just.
Understandable.
And then
And
you
yes,
got-
during last month's meeting, the estimated time of completion was at the end of summer, if you can recall.
Yeah. Yeah, everything excited, all that and
Yeah.
everything.
Now the question becomes, are you extending
No,
it
no,
past
no.
March or?
No.
All right, we got another month. So hopefully we can see a lot of progress.
I mean, if you drive by, you see that whole side's been rebuilt.
Yeah.
You know, there's
And then if you could, I know it was yesterday that you came in and took care of some of the administrative work here.
yeah, I kind of forgetting, like, oh shit, it's,
Yeah, I know that the meeting is kind of forcing the stuff to continue on, but, if we could see the new permit be pulled sooner rather than later.
okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure we got rid of that flat roof, and I figured, well, okay, if they want it, then I'll talk to the builder. I
Okay.
mean, if they,
Again, if I may ask, we're expecting both properties to be fully completed by the end of March, correct?
I think
no, end of summer.
end of summer for both properties, but I think the roof and everything was March
So,
for
I was
seafood.
saying, so what is the clarification on that? Because that's what Fred's been trying to ask. Is
Yes,
everything going
I'm
to
trying
be
to-
completed by the end of March? The answer is no. When should everything be completed?
Well, I'm hoping to be able to move in the secret house by the end of summer. So I gotta have that all completed.
But we're looking at by the end of March, having all the roof and all of that stuff completed,
Yes.
where you're at?
Then I would suggest requesting revisions to the dates.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the timeline that he gave us, I mean, that was just his timeline that he gave us. At this point, it's
Do
just
we
a
have an
month to month.
official
I don't think we have an official,
timeline?
yeah. At this point. It's just been a month to month
Just
update.
continuing as is.
Keep making it better. You know, it's,
Yeah. Well, let's give it another month, and if we don't see adequate progress next month, then we got to decide about having some sort of formalized schedule, if we need it to be a corridor.
Or at least due date.
Yeah. Yeah.
which, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
weather's just been kind of an obstacle.
Yeah.
What we should be heading for the better weather,
Yeah.
Oh, today was a blessing. We were there since 7 this morning,
Yeah.
getting ice and the snow off everything, so.
Okay.
It's supposed to be good all week, so we should be able to, jump on some, catch up on some things, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give it another month. All right. See you next month. Item B, Village Hall parking lot. I know that we've tabled this for a number of months. I'd like to bring this one forward so that we can actually have the discussion. As everybody is well aware, the parking lot in front of the building is absolutely crumbling with the thawing and freezing and thawing and freezing cycle that we've been in. I think it's hypocritical for us to be going after any business about the condition of their parking lot when our own parking lot is crumbling. So I think that we should be good stewards and repair our own property, our own parking lot. We're going to be asking the same of other businesses in the village. The quote that we got from D&J, who was our preferred contractor when it comes to asphalt and concrete work. They gave us a quote. It was for a total of $53,765. In the meeting packet, there is a picture of an overlay of the proposed area, which would basically be from really just this section of the parking lot It would not include the entrance, the side of the building, police department area, or the parking in the back. That is strategically for a reason, is that we are hoping to negotiate repairs of the building with our landlord. And if they're gonna be bringing in heavy machinery, we can't be, we don't wanna have a brand new parking lot and then a whole bunch of heavy machinery destroying it, and then being on the hook for fixing it all over again. So at least if we can do from this section here where, you know, everybody is parked tonight, I'd like to get that into the books and into the schedule so that we can have D&J lined up to knock it out, hopefully early spring, with as little disruption as possible. Thoughts?
My thoughts is it's not hypocritical because it's not our property and it's not our parking lot.
It's not our property, but we are on the hook. That is our lease agreement. Triple net lease.
Also, if I may ask, according to the quote, the D&J contractor's quote, at the very bottom, the description quote is valid for 30 days from 10/28/25. Are they?
Yeah, I did ask actually prior to this meeting. I'm fairly confident that they will, that D&J would be willing to honor that quote. If for whatever reason they decide not to, we can always bring it back next month, but I'm feeling confident that they would.
The price should come down because the oil prices are down.
Any further thoughts? You know, regardless of the fact of who owns the property or who owns the building, you know, even if at some point we were to walk away from this lease, we are still on the hook for the maintenance of it, and we have to have it in a good condition when we walk away. So, I mean, it has to be repaired at some point here. We can't be, it's embarrassing having the residents coming in and trying to do business at the village and they're having to drive over a dilapidated parking lot.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from DJ. But at the same time, I wanted to comment, because when the parking lot was last done, it was done by the landlord.
Okay.
So, first time around, they did it, and they didn't come to us for reimbursement, and now we're accepting responsibility for it.
They've explicitly told us that they are expecting us to fix it.
Okay, so I guess my question goes back to, why did they do it last time?
Yeah, I think it has to do with even like the wall repairs and everything else that we've had.
That was prior to the wall repair becoming a topic of conversation.
It is your duty. And I'll tell them this both. And maybe approving it and doing it are two different things. But it is your duty.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, okay. Under the lease, and I don't know, Mr. Gilbert, why they did it. I don't know why they do anything, and I don't think any of us here do. But under the lease, which we've studied seriously, it would be our duty. However, there is a subject in closed session that may touch on this. Okay, so there's no question that the village president is right. Under the contract, it's our duty. But you may want to wait until closed session and revisit this.
Would you be recommending that we table this one more month? Or?
Well, no more than 1 month, or even come back after closed session and you can address it again. But it will be addressed as part of closed session. And this just occurred, so this is new. This occurred within the last 36 hours or so.
Do we want to then table this to after the closed session, or do we want to table it for a month?
I would rather wait a month because we've already approved the agenda as it is.
Okay, fair enough.
You're not going to fix it in this weather anyway.
Yeah, there's not a rush until next month.
No, the important thing is, if we do approve it, to get DHA on,
Right,
it's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good with that.
All right, so we have a motion to table until next month. We have a support.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we table this until next month. All in favor?
Aye.
Whose motion was it?
Chris? Trustee Gilbert?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm moving too fast.
Well, his original motion was to accept the bids.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you were
I'll,
motioning to table, right?
I'll make that to table.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then it was supported by trustee Hashem. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, 58405 Main Street proposal. Again, this is another one of those items where we are not in any type of rush. This is just something that I dreamt up and thought, hey, this is something that we could do to hopefully spur on development. In your packet is a draft of a request for proposal, RFP, with various languages for development objectives, property conveyance, requirements, evaluation criteria, and all that. What I'd like to do, again, there isn't any rush to this. This is just something that I thought, hey, let's give it a try. So I'm 100% willing to, let's have another month. You guys all have the verbiage in your packet. Give it a month to go through the draft. Let me know if you have anything that you'd like to see updated or changed, and we can talk about it more the following month. I don't know if anybody had the chance to really review it prior. I know we sent out the agenda packet a little bit late. I didn't know if anybody had anything that they wanted to talk about tonight already, but otherwise I'm okay with revisiting this one next month for further review. So it'll just be a discussion item for tonight. Is everybody good with that?
I think the information that was put out in the packet was some good stuff. I think it gives a good description of what we want to do, what our intent is, how we hold ourselves harmless, how we, retain certain rights. The one thing we need to consider is that if we're going to do this, we need to get it out there, because we're going to be slowly but surely approaching that season
Yeah,
when contractors and developers are,
yeah.
starting to break ground and looking for projects and doing projects. And,
Yeah, at least in my head, I'm viewing this as like a 5-year plan. I'm not thinking that, even if we do the RFP this year, I don't think that they'd be breaking ground.
we may not, but at least, we need to, I think it's a good opportunity to expose ourselves
Yeah,
to the outside world.
yeah. It's forward thinking, hopefully. And admittedly, first to admit, Attorney Addis has not had the chance to review the RFP language, so I wanted to at least solicit for feedback, get everybody's feedback, and then once we have something that we feel a little bit more comfortable with of the packet-wise, that then I would hand that over to Al for the formal legal review. I didn't want to have him review it, and then we make amendments, and he has to review it again, so we can bring this back next month and formalize it, and then hand it over to Al for review, and then in theory, April, we can hopefully have action on it. Alrighty. Planning Commission seat, item number D. So we had, this is one of the rare opportunities that we had for members of the community who have shown an interest in a open seat in the village. Seems like most of the open seats we have, we're lucky if we even have 2. So it is nice to see all the interest. At last week's planning meeting, I did ask the Planning Commission to put forward a recommendation. I felt like it would be best for them to have the opportunity. Like I said, normally we only have 1 or 2 candidates. And so it's not hard to make a determination based off one or two candidates. With four, there's, more people to take a look at. Thought it would be beneficial to give the planning commission the opportunity to have a voice. So at the February 3rd meeting, they did recommend to appoint Jimmy Shepard to the planning commission, James Shepard to the planning commission. And so my recommended action would be to accept that recommendation to appoint James Shepard to the open planning seat.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we appoint James Shepard to the planning commission seat. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Noah?
Yes.
Trustee Perpoli?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcher?
Yes.
President Meissner?
Yes. Item number E, the prohibition, or actually, I'm sorry, before we get to that, I just wanted to say, James is here, so just wanted to at least acknowledge he was here at the January meeting. There was a little bit of confusion of who was in the audience and who wasn't in the audience. We didn't realize he was here. So thank you, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Item number E, prohibition of non-disclosure agreements. This has been quite the subject in the news and media. If you've been listening about data centers and a lot of things that are going on lately. I introduced this topic last month, and really I think at the end of the day, in my opinion, a non-disclosure agreement for development within a community just totally contradicts the whole idea of transparency and doing business in the open. For that reason, I felt strongly about putting this NDA ordinance together. Has been reviewed by Al and his team. It has been posted publicly for public review as of January's meeting. So tonight I would be asking for any feedback and or adoption of the ordinance.
What ordinance number would it be?
404. Oh, 14. There was an email from E-Code and it had 403, but that might have been the number that they were given. All right, 410. So this would be ordinance number 410.
I'll move to adopt ordinance 410, an ordinance prohibiting non-disclosure agreements by elected officials.
It's been moved and supported that we adopt ordinance number 410, an ordinance prohibiting non-disclosure agreements by elected and appointed officials acting in their official capacity. I'll read the whole title. Providing for exceptions required by law, declaring certain agreements void and unenforceable, and providing for enforcement and an effective date.
Exactly what I said.
So we had we had support as well.
Yeah.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion on the motion? On the ordinance? Seeing none, roll call please.
Trustee Perpoli?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcher?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Noah?
Yes.
President Meissner?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. New business, code enforcement letter. Mr. Huck, did you want to come up, and Mr. Gralchik, did you want to come up? I don't know, Chief Steer, if you want. All right, Mr. Huck.
Well, that's when I got this code enforcement letter on this sidewalk that we're gonna along 27 Mile Road. A little history I would like, or I'm gonna go through on basically what happened with the renovation of this intersection. My understanding is you applied for a grant, you got a grant, okay? Hired an engineer, hired a contractor, all right? Unfortunately, I don't believe you respected the information from your own staff, meaning DPW. DPW told you you didn't need a storm drain, engineer designed a storm drain, contractor came out, mobilized, brought out tile, okay, pipe, okay. Finally sent a camera down, realized you didn't need the storm drain, okay? So therefore, you paid for engineering, mobilization, and I would assume you paid for return of inventory, okay? Restocking, all right? Then I guess you must have had grant money left, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? You decided, okay, instead of sending the grant money back, we'll put in a sidewalk that nobody uses. Even when Rite Aid was there, nobody used it. The people that come across to go to the gas station across the corner where my liquor license is now, all right? Walk through the gate, all right, they're splitting my fence, come across the parking lot, go across the berm and go there. The people that went to Rite Aid, when Rite Aid was there, walk out the driveway of the trailer park, go across the driveway of Rite Aid and went to Rite Aid. That's the few people. And I would probably guess maybe a half a dozen people that walked there per year, okay? So then I get a letter, okay, that you put in this sidewalk, and then code-wise, I'm supposed to be the one that maintains it. The ironic part about it all is, it's the exact same thing the landlord did to you here. You want to take that same process and dump it on me. I don't understand how you're going to have lessons learned in what's going on with what's happened to you here, and why you would pass that on, okay, to me. You have DPW that comes up and cleans the sidewalk all the way up to my 27-mile entrance to what that would be the west side of my entryway, all right? Just tell them to keep going, okay, if you want that sidewalk cleaned. I don't think it's my responsibility, okay, especially when I had no input, okay, at all, for putting this sidewalk in that nobody uses, and yet you want me to maintain it. My snow guy, Dean Reinhardt is who it is, and he wants $125 a push to clean that sidewalk. So it's gonna cost probably $1,000 a year to do that. And I just think this shouldn't be my problem. Now, one of your other thoughts could be, okay, well, Ron, you mow the grass, don't you? And yeah, I use Frank Discount Mowing, okay, that does the grass there. But guess what? I built it. It was a ditch before. Gratiot was a ditch. I closed it in. I maintained what I built. I'm expecting the same thing from you people. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I'd love to hear your opinion.
Sure. Yeah. So just a little bit of a correction. I know, I know you're generally saying you, but all the work that was done at that intersection predates everybody that's pretty much at this table as far as.
Well, my understanding, you paid another $80,000, $90,000, okay, over the grant, okay, because you have some whatever council, okay. But to me, it doesn't matter what council it is, okay, all right. There's an issue. The council that's here needs to deal with the issue, whatever it may be, okay? Somebody wants to say to me about health and safety. Well, years ago, they put a high school on Gratiot. You know what kind of health and safety problems you have in school in the warmer months and the kids trying to cross Gratiot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You didn't do it,
Right.
but there's a problem that needs to be addressed.
Right. The school's on hope for that.
Just a few thoughts. I mean, I've been here a few years,
Yeah.
okay? And I don't come to council meetings very often. Once in a blue moon. Most of you people don't know me, okay? One thing you don't understand, some of you people may have here and bought homes here when we had the real estate recession, okay, or whatever. What you don't get is what it did to the commercial property, all right? You talk about this building and it's a triple net. It's not a triple net. It's way bigger than a triple net. Everybody would love to have this lease as a landlord, okay, all right? All right, so we don't get triple net anymore. Everything is a gross lease. So when you raise any kind of cost, okay, we have a lease that goes for 2 or 3 years. Maybe we have one bump in those 2 or 3 years. Well, you got the fires that happen in California, you got what goes on in Florida, okay? Insurance on the building doubles. Am I gonna be able to foresee that? No, but it's just piling on and piling on and piling on. The village needs to understand that they need to be supportive of business. I was here when they had the HUD money. Chris, okay, knows, all right? got the HUD money, tore the whole damn village down, okay? Contractor's gonna come in, and we're gonna get $15, $16 a square foot off. You see anything back? Leonard Hoole was the one who did that. Leonard Hoole then got the council to say that the post office needed to stay downtown. Otherwise, I had the post office out on 22nd and Gratiot. All right? Okay, those are some things. Fire department, let's go to, I might as well get all my subjects out.
I was gonna say, we don't need to get too far off.
Well, I'm on the fire department.
Yeah.
Dan does a good job, don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching about him at all. However, one of the businesses here, to me, committed fraud to him, which they caught, okay? They did not use a certified inspector, okay, whatever, all right? So his solution to it is that the vendors need to register. Okay, that's a good solution. I don't have a problem with that solution, okay? However, they need to charge $100, okay, to that vendor for registration, $50 the second year, okay? You don't think that money's getting passed down to my tenants? It definitely is gonna get passed down, unless you believe in Trump's tariffs, okay, all right? So that's gonna get passed down, okay, whatever. All I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with this problem, but why do you got a bill for everything? Why does there cost? Or, the other part of it, the guy that made the problem, committed the fraud, okay, fine him. Make him understand it cost him money, okay? Not the 99% of the people that do it right. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, okay? But these are things, and like I'm saying, you need to look at bringing business back to the village. Because if you look around, I'm probably the only one that's 100% occupied. Thank you.
We had, since the time we got as code enforcement, we've always had an issue with property owners, to include businesses and homeowners, not clearing their sidewalks after it snows. It's no different this year than it has been in the last 3 years. This year, we just took a harder stance where we sent a letter to all businesses along Gratiot to clear their sidewalks. Some did, some did not. He is correct on one part that Dollar General, Jowett Funeral Home, and Mobile, in the past years, except for this year, DPW, when they clear from probably right out here all the way up along the west side of Gratiot, they go where the roundabout used to be. They would go all the way to that crosswalk right in front of the high school. This year was the first year where they stopped at Dollar General. But I don't know, I didn't look into it, but Dollar General, Jowett, and the Mobile gas station had never had to clear their sidewalks until this year. And that was some of the big issue, besides the property at 27 Gratiot. The BP across the street wasn't doing their snow either. There's only a handful of properties along Gratiot that had been clearing snow. And one of the big issues was, so what we created was a letter we sent out to all the businesses along Gratiot, asking them to clear their snow. I spoke to Jowett. Jowett said that DPW had been clearing theirs, and this year they stopped. So that was the reason for the letter. There's a lot, Gratiot properties weren't clearing their snow.
Sure. Yeah, so, Mr. Huck,
Downtown properties not clearing the snow.
Downtown properties aren't clearing
Look
their
at
snow.
people right to the post office right now, the sidewalk in front of the post office is not clear.
Yeah.
And they get a whole lot more traffic than
Correct.
nobody walks on the sidewalk.
I've used your sidewalk, but.
And it's not just Mr. Huck's property, it's homeowners. I can go into any one of the subdivisions, wherever there's sidewalks, and I can find anywhere from 5 to 10, even more homes than that did not clear their sidewalks. So all we did was send warning letters to everyone to let them, remind them that there's a village ordinance in place, that they're responsible for clearing their sidewalks.
Right.
The difference being though is you had grant money, you had a sidewalk that nobody was going to use, okay? Apparently people didn't understand the logistics of how people walk, okay, whatever. And you put in this sidewalk that wasn't there before, okay? I clear my property, I maintain my property, okay, all right? But you put in the sidewalk, just like this landlord dumps all the maintenance on you, okay, like I told you. Don't dump your maintenance. If I would have built it, I would have cleared it. I didn't build it.
Yeah, the problem that we have is that the ordinance in the village says that for any improvements.
And I don't believe one size fits all.
Yeah, the ordinance does say that when there is an improvement, that a sidewalk goes in, which is why the sidewalk was added to the plans. So anytime there's any type of improvement on any other properties that have, road frontage, it requires a sidewalk. So that's why the sidewalk was put in. as part of that reconfiguration of the intersection. That said, I mean, what's the pleasure of the board, Trustee Dilbert?
But the improvement was not on Mr. Huck's property.
No.
It was in the right of way of the,
It's in the right of way.
Because I know, I spoke against the sidewalk. I had numerous conversations, because I didn't think the sidewalk was needed. I didn't think the sidewalk was going to be utilized.
It's not.
You know, I mean, I see people walk every day, and the fact that it wasn't Mr. Huck's improvement, now, if he was doing improvement on his parking lot, on his berm, on his property, then I could see where the sidewalk would have been possibly required. But even that, I think, doesn't apply, because this is the 40-year-old building,
40?
Well, I mean,
30-year-old building?
If you, well, 45, we're 45 years from the new building, but you want to count the old store in front?
No, just.
I
but,
was gonna say, it's been there my entire life. I remember going there when I was just like 2.
yeah, certainly.
I don't remember it.
45 years.
I mean, I think it's debatable as far as who's responsible, because, like I said, it wasn't put in by law. It was put in as it was an add-on to a project that originally was just a reconfiguration of the intersection. You know?
yeah.
I mean, especially when I look around town and I see where, yes, new construction does require sidewalk. You know, I understand that. You know, that's been the case forever, you know? But for, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, because we put a proposal in the road project for downtown, and it included sidewalks, and it would be the same scenario there, where we would be putting in sidewalks, and then it would be the property's owner's responsibility to maintain it, to shovel it, plow it.
Yeah, I mean, we did do
If
this.
we do that, then we're not doing any improvements at all, right? Because otherwise,
put in this-
we're gonna be plowing the entire village.
We put in the sidewalks on, along Main Street and Park Street with the CDBG.
But those were sidewalks that existed.
I thought we had to do along Haven Ridge,
Now, you guys added Haven Ridge on the
east side.
east side, that I talked against that too, because no one walked that sidewalk. You know?
Well, it was the connection to the park.
Okay, well, that kid that's walking down the middle of Haven Ridge, I guess he's not going to the park. Because he's certainly not using the sidewalk. But, you know, once again, you know, we're putting sidewalk in places that, well, we're trying to make the village walkable, and I think the village was walkable, and these additional sidewalks that have been added does not increase the walkability of the village. And that means Haven Ridge, and there's numerous spots around town where new sidewalks were added that, you know.
I would really disagree about the walkability with Haven Ridge. I mean, that's increased all the walkability right up to Community Park for people coming from the residential area downtown and all the way, you know, people coming across Clark Street up to Haven, to the park. It's used all the time for the slow roll.
Well, for the snow road, that's once every week. I mean, you know,
Well, then everybody coming to the Easter egg hunt that's walking there or biking there. I mean,
so we're gonna get it 6 times a year, whereas I drive Haven Ridge 10 times a day, and I can honestly say, I don't see people walking that part of the road, okay?
When it comes to walkability though, I don't think, I mean, it should, but I don't think ordinance-wise it would matter how many people are actually gonna, because we have like Kathy Court, we require sidewalks there, but they don't have 20 people a day walking on that sidewalk, especially on the end where the houses are, but we still require the sidewalks there.
Where?
Like Kathy Court, there's only 10 houses, not even, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but those sidewalks were put in when the houses were built,
Yeah, but I mean, you can make the argument that.
which is part of the ordinance. That's part of the ordinance.
Well, the ordinance applies to 27 miles as well.
Nah.
I know you're the, but I mean, how do you tell one person, yeah, you have to have it, and then tell someone else you don't?
I guess at the end of the day, I mean, the question is, you know, there's really only 2 options here. The sidewalk exists and it has to be plowed or maintained. You know, the option is it's the business owner or it's the DPW. that decision.
Well, realize this, okay? When your people come, okay, and it's the same thing I did when I talked to Marcus, okay? All right, asphalt needed to be done, but my interest was out on the 27 Mile Road. I said to Marcus, are you guys been looking to do that? He says, no. I said, don't worry about it, we'll do it, okay? So that 27 Mile Road, when I had the asphalt done, we did the road as well, okay? Because it's coming into my thing, all right? When you guys come to cut grass, okay, along that berm going towards the creek and all that, they park in my lot. I don't bitch, park in my lot. It's easier for you, you're off the road, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is I do an awful lot of things and have done for over the years for the village, okay, all right? And I, again, I just totally disagree that you guys put something in, you dump it on me to maintain it, okay? I don't see how that's right, okay, all right? You can talk about residential or whatever, because I had a house and a residential, I do the sidewalk or whatever. I built the berm, I put it there, okay? There was no sidewalk there, okay? Now, back then, we're talking 45 years ago, there was no requirement for a sidewalk, okay, all right? And not only that, nobody, if I see somebody use the damn thing, okay, I would feel a whole lot better, but nobody, okay? I mean, the only people that may use it is the people that are DUI in the trailer park that have to walk to get about because they got a problem, okay, all right? That's it.
Well, like I said, I've used your sidewalk a few times, and it was not for DUI. It was, because it was better to cross on the north side of 27 than it was on the south side. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, I'm just one individual, and I did not have, this. Okay. The sidewalk being built, I'm pretty sure that was, all of that was engineered and designed during an administration between Chris and I. To put it that way. So I mean, this is it is what it is. The sidewalk exists. Like I said, I mean, at this point, it's either do we have DPW what they're already doing to the west side of the property? Do they continue with the gator and clear the sidewalk across the Clark Street side of the sidewalk, or we tell Mr. Huck that he has to do it?
What's getting done on the east side?
East side.
East side.
The east side of Gresham,
Yeah.
That's
from the strip mall that is just south of 27 Mile to 27 Mile, that stretch right there is done by DPW. And then from the south side of the strip mall, I think up to the medical center is also done by DPW. And then on 27 Mile of Clark Street, there's a stretch in there where the village does use the gator to plow. I'm not sure the distances in there.
So DPW does in front of the medical center?
They don't do it in front of the medical center. They go up to the medical center and then they stop.
So it's the
They
big.
pick it up, they pick it up where again?
They pick it up when they cross over Gratiot, just south of Dollar General, and then they come down whatever stretch or over the other map. I don't know how far it goes out.
They're doing the vacant properties along Gratiot.
It's Arlington's Perry Acres, Arlington Medical Center that DPW does.
There's the bridge that goes over the creek and whatnot on Gratiot. So,
Yeah, the bridge is part of the village infrastructure, that's right.
yeah. Just like on Clark Street, they're doing west of the plaza because it's the bridge that goes over Clark Street as well.
It's our property also.
And they come all the way up to the driveway.
Right. So they do from Amherst's property line through the bridge over to your parking lot.
No, there's a sidewalk, there's a bridge over across.
The map up there. So it'd be from the
Yeah. they come
Amherst
up-
subdivision property.
You see where the tree line is there?
Yeah.
That's my property, from the tree line.
Yeah, you should be plowing that.
Yeah. Technically, he should only be doing the tree line and then stopping before your driveway.
And that goes back to what occurred up to this year with Dollar General, Jowett, and the mobile gas station.
Right.
They were clearing all of that as well, and this year was the first year they hadn't done it. So that is also an issue. So those three businesses were not aware that they were even responsible for clearing their own snow because DPW had cleared it all the way up to the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Well, that's too, we're changing things, businesses have to be aware.
And that was the reason for the warning letter the letter that I sent to Mr. Huck and the businesses along Ranch.
Should we set that up first?
Yeah, we just sent the letter out, just
No, I did that, but we were notified ahead of time, and then everybody figured it out.
how about this, why don't we, because, you know, obviously, we're having a discussion about what DPW is or isn't doing. We don't have Superintendent over here to really speak to the matter. Why don't we take this offline, have a conversation with them, understand what it is that they were and were not doing, why they stopped doing along Gratiot, what would it take for them to continue to do the sidewalk along Clark Street and whatnot?
About 2 minutes.
You know, let's at least get an understanding of the situation. I don't know if did you guys want this to come back to council next month, or do you want us to just handle it with a discussion between Marcus and Mr. Huck? And if he's not satisfied, he can bring it back next month.
I mean, if it can be resolved without,
Right.
but I mean, if it has to, then we bring it back next month.
Sounds like a simple misunderstanding caused by inconsistencies.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm looking at is we have to do something that's uniform. You know, we can't say we're going to follow yours, but not yours.
I know, and I think that's the intention here, is that, you know, DPW is plowing what is village owned, and that, you know, maybe in the past that we might have had some folks who were being having a little bit too much fun with the gator, and they were doing a little bit more than they needed to, maybe for good intentions, like going to the crosswalk at the high school, thinking that they were helping with the kids being able to get to school. I mean, I've snowblowed New Haven Elementary's sidewalk for the 10 years that I've lived in my house, because we want to make sure the kids have a walkway to get to school. But yeah, I mean, we can bring this, I can have the conversation with Marcus, we can have the conversation with Mr. Huck offline, and if we can come to a resolution, you know, we can handle it there. Otherwise, if we don't come to a resolution, we can have you come back next month.
It's fine, whatever you guys want to do.
Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody will call me or what?
Yeah, we'll reach out to you, for sure. Yep.
That's fine. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, sir. Let's see, that was item number A, code enforcement. Item number B, water bill late fee waiver request. Do we have, Mrs. Sinterberg? Doesn't look like we do. Okay. So we did have a resident who reached out. They had mailed their water bill to the village. Unfortunately, the bill arrived after the due date. We do not have a copy of the envelope to be able to go back and see when the bill was postmarked. I mean, it's, you know, we get a lot of bills that are late. We don't save every single envelope. Their claim was that they didn't believe they should be responsible for paying the bill or paying the late fee penalty because they had mailed it ahead of time and it was the post office, the postal system, which made it late. Frankly, I don't think that this would hold up against Comcast or DTE or anybody else. If you mail your bill and it arrives late, it is what it is. The village ordinance, chapter 495, water and sewer, article 5, water supply system, 495-46, says only the village of New Haven council has the authority by majority vote to compromise, modify, negotiate, or alter a fee under this article, or may, at its discretion and by majority vote, designate a representative to do so on a case-by-case basis. We've always referred to this ordinance as long as I've been village president. Our office manager has, advised that's what the ordinance says. It says we do not waive late fees administratively. If somebody wants their late fee waived, they need to come before council. So to be fair and consistent, I am bringing it here. The resident did ask for council to consider waiving her late fee. I've also included, in the private packet, I did include a screenshot of her payment history. I mean, you can see she has a fairly good record of making the payments, but ultimately, like I said, I don't think if you went to DTE or Comcast or any other person that you have a bill with and say, I'm sorry, I mailed it ahead of time and you didn't get it on time, I don't think that's enough muster to,
But we don't know exactly when she mailed it.
right.
If we
And
had
that's what I'm
proof of
saying,
What day
yeah.
it was postmarked and it would have got lost or whatever, that would be one thing, but, I mean, send it earlier, send it electronically, send it, bring it in, I mean, there's other ways to get it here.
Exactly.
So I've always been a proponent of having 2 meetings a month, and I think if we approve this, we're gonna have to have 2 meetings a month to deal with the amount of people that are gonna be their bills to council.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever we wanna do, I think it'll get 2 meetings.
As much as I feel for the individual, I mean, we are talking a $11 penalty. It's not if we're talking like a major penalty here. Like I said, I don't think any other utility company would approve as such, but ultimately it's the Board Council.
Send the bill to USPS.
Any further thoughts on the topic? If not, I need a motion one way or another.
I was a motion to deny her claim for requesting her money back.
We have a motion to deny. Do we have a support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we deny the park fee waiver. Roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry, discussion on the motion.
I think the only thing that we can do is in the future, that when we receive mail-in payments, that the office personnel note the post date.
Yeah.
Okay.
Such as, like when you mail in your taxes, it has to be posted,
I
I
agree
did.
with that, then we'll know, if somebody really did it and the mail really messed up, then we can make an exception, but without proof, you can't make an exception.
Yeah.
So,
What is the date, the grace that we're gonna give though? Mail by, what is the mail by date?
No, the post date has to be before the actual due date.
And it's when the post office received it, and
Yeah.
then they
Yeah,
lose
whatever the post
it,
date
so
is.
sometimes.
So I would say there has to be.
If I put it in the mailbox a day before it's due, it's postmarked before the due date, but it's not gonna get there.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that's how the IRS is, as long as it's post dated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's postmarked by that.
Mr. Gaisel.
So you're expecting my office to document and log 100 pieces of mail a day when they have other ways to make payments to the village?
Well, then that's not step mail-in payments then.
Do you get 100 late payments a month? No. Well, it's just a late one. You do documentation. Right, unless I'm misunderstanding that one.
Yeah, just a late fee.
Sorry.
I mean, I did bring this up to the office staff as well, that if we get a late payment, I mean, you open up the envelope, you see that it's a water bill and it's past due, at least, scan or date the postmark date that's on the envelope itself.
As long as we have a way that's standard, so that.
But I do agree though, you need to have, if they mail it and it's post dated the day before the due date, that probably wouldn't be accepted, because you can't expect that if you put it in the mail the day before, it's gonna arrive in time, right?
You said probably that creates a gray area.
Right. So, I would think that if we were to go down that path, it would have to be at least, I don't know,
We're gonna do the same day
72.
every year, right, or every month,
it'd have to, no,
every month?
it would have to be at least 3 days prior to the due date, I would think, at the very
Well-
least.
Don't the IRS just require you to have post dated prior to due date?
The IRS? Yeah.
No?
The IRS, you have to have your tax return dated the days. So
Yes.
it's due April 15th, it has to be posted.
So it has to be post dated by April 15th, right?
Yep,
Because don't the post office stay open late or whatever
yes.
to accept that? So it's post dated, now, they're not gonna receive it by April 15th, but it's post dated by April 15th. And that's all I'm saying, if it's post dated by the due date.
We post almost $10,000 worth of late fees a month. So that's
Okay.
$100 a month.
That's a lot.
I don't know, most bills that we get are, the payment has to be received by this date, and you're responsible for that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I do the electronic bill pay through my bank. I make sure that it is sent at least a week in advance so that I know it'll get here in time.
And if we make mistakes, that's on us, it's not on, as residents, not on the village to fix our problems. I paid mine up, not this month, but last month, I was like totally forgotten, I looked, like, well, it's just due tonight, so I paid it online and missed it.
Right.
I made the deadline by like an hour.
Yeah, you're either paying the
Whatever
convenience
process
fee
you
or
have.
you're paying the late fee.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as it's standard, the process, it really doesn't matter.
Right. Let's, we'll work on trying to see what we can come up with for payments that are received after the date, but have a postmark prior to the due date. But at least for the motion tonight, it's to deny the late fee waiver. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Hatchell?
yes.
Trustee Norman?
Yes.
Trustee Purple?
Yes.
Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
And President Mason?
Yes. Item C, Macomb Auto Engineering waiver request. Sir, did you want to come forward with this?
Thank you. I did want to make a point. I never received notice of this hearing. The only reason I'm here is because my client called me this morning and said that he would be here. Somehow, I'm the applicant and I never received notice.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely take that up.
Please take a look at it. My client would have been here, but he was not feeling well. I don't know if he was going to go to the hospital or emergency or going to go home. So my apologies that he can't be here. So he asked me to continue. I understand that from the consultant, the request to use the asphalt milling as an option for the asphalt paving is not their recommendation. I understand the reason, but let me explain to you why I think that we have a little different situation. If I was to had a business like a shopping center or any other city hall, I would say yes, you have to really look at the asphalt paving for that surface. What we have here, I think, is a unique condition where we have a auto sales business. The cars that are in the lot stay there in the lot for weeks without being sold, so they're not moved. We have an area where the customers come in, that they will park there and then they walk around the lot looking at the cars. And the customers are maybe 5 a day. He sells maybe 1 to 2 a day in a lot. So there's not like there's a lot of movement of traffic on the millings from the asphalt. I know I completed a 4-acre storage area in Livonia where we used the milling asphalt, and that was accepted because of those facts that there wasn't a lot of traffic going to be on that milling. As a matter of fact, those who are familiar with Nagle Paving, they're probably one of the biggest asphalt suppliers in the area. Their yard is about half of milling for asphalt. The front part is is concrete, and they do that so that the millings don't drag out onto the roadway. So I'm asking you to take that into account as far as this property is concerned. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, just to also kind of put it into context too, so the applicant, they purchased the property adjacent to the existing property and expanded the dealership illegally onto that property. It did ultimately require court action to get the site plan even to be submitted for the enhancement with the property. I think one of my biggest concerns with this is that the asphalt millings, getting that to compact and to be a stable surface, I just don't believe that that's possible. I know that there was a property in Lennox Township that had asphalt millings used for parking, and no matter what they've done to try to compact it, it's just not compacting and it's just mush. Our fire department, if they have to pull into that parking lot, my concern is their fire rigs completely rutting out the asphalt millings. You know, you said you do have customers that are gonna be coming in and parking in the parking lot, they're gonna be walking around. Over time, as this asphalt milling, you know, rots and from the vehicles being moved around, becomes trip hazard, becomes a walking hazard. We don't have, you know, you mentioned about the example of the other property that has the front half of the parking lot is concrete, so the asphalt millings don't come out. My understanding is the site plan that we have before us does not even have that as a consideration for this property,
It has a concrete approach.
just for the aprons, right?
Right, now we could extend that out to the end of the island if that's so desired, you can do that.
Smrad, did you want to speak to this at all?
Thank you, President. This has been a long discussion, and Attorney Addis knows all about the history. This is just not an approved material to begin with. It does not achieve compaction, and it has contaminants. And the ordinance and standards right now does not allow this as an alternate to begin with. What the village has approved before was gravel, but that's only for like a contractor's yard in the back, not for a commercial setting. And gravel is not asphalt millings, it's the MDOT aggregate, what we call the 21AA. And I think in your packet I sent you a lot of information. We've done an extensive research a few years ago. And actually, none of the agencies that we deal with allow that. So we stand on the same recommendation that this is not an allowed material. And like you mentioned, there was a nearby site that they couldn't achieve compaction, and they end up topping it with the gravel material, the MDOT 21AA to achieve that finally. And again, we have to stay consistent with the requirement.
Thoughts of the board?
Is this a material where, is engine 1 your heaviest piece of equipment?
Yeah, so it has to maintain 75,000 pounds. It has to be able to hold 75,000 pounds with less than a half of an inch of movement. So half of an inch when I'm turning the tires, it's not a lot, right? When you start turning the tires, right? So that's where in the fire department does agree with engineering on that.
So if you had to go in the spring with that material as the base, you would have issues with the
Correct.
engine.
It just won't be compaction.
Ordinance, again, back to the basics, ordinance are written for the health, welfare, and safety. So if we lose the safety part of it,
And the fact that it's a public parking lot, people will be walking around. Bless you. Any other thoughts? Yes, sir.
I would agree that, that it needs to be done properly, especially because, this is new. Particularly the expansion is new. And, you know, I truly believe that the new parts should conform to, the existing ordinance, you know, with curb and gutter and sidewalks.
You do show the sidewalk.
You do have sidewalks on your side.
And landscape.
Yeah,
And retention.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I think for all intents and purposes, I believe most of the engineering standards for the site plan, this is, I think, the one main item that's stands out. So they, you know, to their credit, they have come to us with a site plan that meets a lot of the other standards, but this is the one hang up. You know, we have the fire department that is recommending that we do not grant the waiver. We have engineering that is recommending that we do not grant the waiver. You know, my thought is that we should be listening to our professionals.
Now, is this for just the expanded part of the, this isn't for the entire,
This will be for the entire.
oh, it will be for the entire.
Yeah, one of the things that, has been pointed out is that, so we do have this site plan that has been submitted to us for the improvements. It covers both the parcels. We still have not had a lot combination formally submitted, so we do need to get that underway.
That's why I was asking, because I didn't know if we could require something on a property that, they're two separate properties, right? And we're looking at a site plan for one.
Well, so it's a site plan that is covering both parcels, even though it needs to be combined.
And there's two legal descriptions. I don't know if they were combined or not.
They're
That's
not
done by
presently,
the owner.
yeah, they're not presently combined, but it really is going to be required as part of the, if it moves forward with a conditional approval as planning, it will be conditional on a lot combination.
I'm sure that would not be an issue. I think I mentioned that before to the owners.
It's the whole site that they're proposing.
Correct.
Over the whole site.
I'm asking because it's just my understanding that if you're looking at this site, you can't ask for anything over here.
Yeah, their site plan is for both parcels.
Right.
Motion's in order?
I'll make a motion that we deny the request, the waiver request for the parking lot surface, the, what do they call it?
Asphalt millions.
Yeah, asphalt lanes. That we deny the use of the asphalt lanes for their parking lots.
Second.
It's been moved and supported that the waiver request be rejected. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Capoli?
Yes.
Trustee Donut?
Yes.
Trustee Hatcham?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, item number D, 2026-2027 budget public hearing. Ms. Kazel.
It's that time of year again, we have to do a public hearing. I'm requesting that we set up a public hearing before the March council meeting. Any questions? I did provide you with the budget. It hasn't changed since we had our budget workshop. We had some tweaks on the fire department budget, but nothing of big consideration. We just moved around some of the salaries and stuff like that. So I basically left the budget all alone. I do have some things that are coming up next month that I will be sharing with you. The Great Lakes Water Authority thing that I'm going to bring up next. I did get a bill from Blue Cross saying that our billing went up 15%. We'll look at that and figure out what we want to do with that. I'll present that next month. And that's about all I got to say about that.
Plan would be to have the public hearing at 6:30.
March 10th.
Thank you.
Correct.
March 10th.
March 10th.
That's my.
Council meeting.
Council meeting.
Do we have a motion to set the public hearing for March 10th at 6:30 p.m.?
I move that we have a public hearing on March 10th at 6:30 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and supported that we have our budget public hearing on March 10th at 6:30 p.m. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Sure, let's keep you up here for item number E, Camtor Fireworks.
We have gotten from Cantor a $6,000 invoice. In the past council meetings, this is for the red, hot, and blue that I'm speaking of. We usually do it with Lennox. They pay half. Lennox has come to us and asked us to, I don't know how to explain this one. Basically, they had the 4th of July at $20,000. This is the one for us for our red, hot, and blue. Do we pay the whole thing of the $12,000, Or are we paying for the July 5th, 4th? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you want me to jump in?
Yes, please. I'm having a hard time talking.
So previously, I mean, year over year, we've always had a partnership with Lennox Township for the fireworks during the Red Hot and Blue. Village of New Haven pays half, Lennox Township pays half. Previously, it was sometime last year, as you may or may not remember, Supervisor Reeder came to the council meeting. He asked for us to grant Lennox Township the ability to kind of separate from the Red Hot and Blue Festival. They want to have their fireworks. They would like to host the fireworks, and they would like to have it on the 4th of July. Since that point in time, and we did agree, hey, you guys want to have the fireworks on 4th of July, that's fine. And then we said, well, we need to figure out what are we doing for the Red Hot and Blue. Since that time, Supervisor Reeder has worked with his board. I believe their quote was for $20,000. They increased the amount a little bit. Normally it's $12,000 for our show. And I believe that their intention is that they were thinking that the village was going to chip in on half of that. Supervisor Reeder has not, formally come here with that request, so just keep that in the back of your mind while we then move to the following weekend, which is the Red Hot and Blue weekend, which is July 11th. So, we had, I think, back then when we had the discussion about what to do for 4th of July, or, this year being the 250th celebration of America, Anthony really wanted to have a celebration on 4th of July to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the country. That's great. We can't have Red Hot and Blue, though, in my opinion, without having the fireworks at the end of the night. That just seems like it would be such a lackluster Red Hot and Blue that you get to a point in time and it's like, all right, everybody go home. There's nothing to celebrate. So we do have a quote here, if we want to have fireworks on the night of Red Hot and Blue, the amount would be the $12,000. Now, we could go back to Anthony and we can say, will you guys split the cost of the Red Hot and Blue? But I do know that he's going to come back and he's, going to formally ask him, well, will you guys split half of the cost of the 4th of July celebration? So one of the things that I know Ms. Kazel and I and Chief Steer, we were all talking about was, Lennox Township has always covered half of the cost of the fireworks show. Various reasons in the past, but I think at the end of the day, it's a sponsorship opportunity or a partnership opportunity with the township. That it's not just the New Haven fireworks; it's the Lennox Township and New Haven fireworks. So they may still be amicable to going 50-50 for the Red Hot and Blue. I haven't had that discussion with Supervisor Reeder yet, but we do have the quote here from Camtor. The total amount remaining the same as always of $12,000, whether or not we want to try to get Lennox Township to chip in on half of it. Thoughts? I know you were waiting.
I think what's going to come down to is the township's going to have to foot the bill for their fireworks show on the 4th.
And we foot ours.
And then we're going to foot the bill for our fireworks show on the 11th.
Right.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us half.
And then we turn around.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
Well,
so we
if they
need
lose
to.
half and we give them half, we're actually paying more.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
So if we just pay for ours and make them pay for theirs, that's what I'm paying.
I'm perfectly fine with that. And admittedly, Lennox Township is soliciting for sponsorships for their fireworks show.
Mm-hmm.
So their total cost, will come down as well. So if council is comfortable with approving the $12,000 for Camtor for the Red Hot and Blue Festival, we can at least lock them in for that date. Since it is the 250th, they are in high demand. They originally told Anthony that they could not even do 4th of July for Lennox Township, and
so that's what they're doing theirs also?
they are doing theirs also, yeah. So they would actually be doing both shows, the July 4th and July 11th. So approval tonight would get us locked in at least for the July 11th.
Has this gone to, has the Parks and Rec had this conversation?
This is, no, since this is Red Hot and Blue, this is a civic event, so it hasn't gone through Parks and Rec. We do have the separate fund of the Civic Events Fund that covers the Red Hot and Blue.
Okay.
Do we have, so I guess tonight I'd be asking for the approval of the 12,000. I can have a conversation with Supervisor Reeder regarding the 4th of July versus ours. Based off of that conversation, I can come back and we can have the conversation of who's paying what, but I'd like to at least lock us in on July 11th with Cantor.
Yeah, I like the partnership between the village and the township, but I think this is gonna be a one-off year where we just kind of do our own things this year.
Right.
Just because of it's the 250th, you only have that once, so.
Right.
But I'll make the motion to go ahead and lock in the $12,000 for Cantor fireworks for July 11th.
It's been moved and supported that we lock in with Cantor for July 11th, 2026 for the $12,000. Discussion on the motion.
Yeah, I haven't asked enough questions, like, so I'm trying to get all my questions out. Has there been any conversation or has there been any suggestion that the 11th be canceled and that the 4th be a joint?
So there's been internal discussion, you know, with our staff as well as Lennox Township. Lennox, they're really not looking to do a full-blown festival. They're just really looking to have just the fireworks. And I think that that's also beneficial for us because if we were to cancel the 11th and just do a Red Hot and Blue festival on the 4th, now you're talking about every single employee being paid holiday pay. That's going to dramatically increase the cost. I guess Lennox Township is okay with that for their portion of the fireworks, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, I was just curious if there's been any conversation with that.
Yeah, I mean, we did consider it, but I think we had, how many DPW did we have working last year? I want to say it was like 6 to 8.
We had them all,
We had
except for
everybody.
2.
Because we had a seasonal employees as
Seasonal employees
well.
also. But like you said, that 4th of July, everybody's gone.
Yeah, that too.
That's our time too.
Can I ask, are we at least able to request an extension for another month? Professional courtesy until we're able to speak with the township?
Well, that's a
Clarification?
We've had this invoices for a month or 2 now, and he's been wanting to lock in on this, and we've been holding on to the Cantor invoices.
For another month?
I mean, at the end of, you know, I guess the other way of looking at it is that, I mean, at the end of the day, it'd be the 12,000 and whether or not we get Lennox Township to, worst case scenario, we'd be on the hook for the 12,000. Best case scenario, we get Lennox Township to, maybe they're feeling charitable and they decide to pay for their fireworks and pay for half of ours.
And we're looking for sponsorships also.
Yeah. Last year, Lynette, Miss Ruffy from the office, she got $5 or $6,000 in sponsorships. So.
If you want, I can change my motion to up to 12,000, so it's any amount less than that too.
That would at least lock us in with the date so that we know that we have it guaranteed.
Like you said, it's 250, and then people are celebrating now, the place in Cantor is online.
Any further discussion on the motion? It has been moved and supported that we go with the Cantor quote. Sounds like we have up to 12,000. Are you amicable with that amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Up to the 12,000 for Cantor for July 11th. July 11th, 2026. I almost said the wrong date there. Roll call, please.
Trustee Paul?
Yes.
Trustee Hashem?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
President Wyson?
Yes.
Did you change your name? You didn't tell me?
So the amended item number F was the Lions Hall architectural drawings. We did get the architectural drawings back. I just forwarded them yesterday, so I know we haven't had a lot of time to review it. I don't have it in the packet. It's the 90% drawings. So if you can take a look at it, try to give me some feedback. I'd like to get back to the architect. I don't believe much has changed since the last, since what was it, the 60% was the milestone, 60 or 80%?
Second phase, 60%.
Yeah. I have vehicle development milestone percentages in my head, so it's hard to remember which is which. So we had the second phase milestone, this is the third phase. If you could just take a look at it, it's a reconfiguration of the bathrooms. There's a vestibule for the entrance, which is a requirement to building code. There is a expanded storage area in the southwest corner, southwest of the image. And then the reconfiguration of the quote-unquote warming kitchen or caterer's kitchen in the northeast corner, which was previously like the club area. So there'd be a central island countertop. There's, the drawings show for refrigeration units, your sinks, counter space. There is the opening pass through from the club area into the open area, so that there'd be somewhere for serving and all that. I believe that the plans also call for some expansion of the doorways because I think only one of the doors, exterior doors, were the correct width. And then again, there was that apparently there's a building requirement based off of the number of square feet. You have to have a vestibule. So that kind of eats up some of the square footage. They try to strategically put it so that the doorways into the bathrooms, you're not, both of the doors for the men and women's restroom, if you're in the open seating area, you wouldn't have a direct line of sight into any of the urinals or restrooms and stuff like that, just to try to keep it classy here. So, all in all, I think the architect really did a good job with, trying to build this out and offer improvements to the facility.
I guess my only question is, moving the HVAC outside, what does that add in cost?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can go back and ask him what the cost aspect of that is.
And especially considering the fact that the current HVAC is, 2 years old?
Right, it's new. There is this concept, as I understand it, and Sir Matt, I'm going to kind of lean on you for it just because you're an engineer, but I believe there's a phrase that's like, it's engineering in, means that this is the plan, but we're asking, like, when we put it to RFP, we might ask for like
Value engineering.
value engineering. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Value engineering.
Well, yeah, or an alternate.
Yeah, or an alternate. So, while the drawings that we have may show it needing outside, we could ask for value engineering where the existing HVAC units remain. Or
Is there a building going
reconfigured,
over? Is there a building going over the HVAC system? Your janitor's closet, okay, and all the projects I've done, okay, they don't make them big enough. First of all, you're probably gonna have a machine that you walk behind to clean the floors. They need to make sure they've got drainage in there to get rid of that, what the residue it picks up. Two is I don't see any racking in there for toilet paper and all the stuff. They put a table in it, okay? They need a table.
Thank you. So this is the 90%. There's a lot of drawings that are included here. So if you can, just take the time to review it, let me know your feedback. If you could, I'd like to have feedback, within the next week or so I can get back to the architect and at least provide any feedback of any changes that you would like to see. I will ask him about what he thinks the cost estimate would be though with putting it outside. I know that was the biggest, no pun intended, blow with the HVAC being put outside. It's new HVAC. We just had it installed like 2 years ago. All right. Item number G, GLEWA fiscal year ending 2027. Ms. Casey?
This is just informational, so you know that is happening with our rates. To bring it to the council's attention. Find it. The summary that I provided with you is a calculation worksheet that shows that our rates are going up for the water is almost 6.72%. 2 years ago, somewhere was it when they uncapped us? 2 years ago, they uncapped us. We were doing 4%, and now it's creeping up. I have been in conversation with Sumed, and we are going to go over the rates in the next month or two here. We do have a hearing in August that we we're going to talk to them, but this is effective July 1, so we're not going to have all our information together, but we're going to go through our rates and make sure that we are covering our bills, basically, what I'm trying to say. In my summary, I basically said that the increase is reflected on our new budget on the expenditure side. So I have these numbers in our budget, but we have to analyze our revenue that we're getting from the residents and our cost, and we might have to adjust that accordingly when we figure out what our revenues needs to cover this. We have to realize too that we are bringing in readiness to serve money, and we need to have that in our fund balance and to move forward and stuff like that. So we've got to make a account for that too. So this is just informational. This is what's going down in the next couple of months, and we're going to try to figure out if we have to raise rates or not. Of course, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He says yes, and I'm just going to say no. So,
yeah, appreciate it. And I know, I think recently, didn't Lewa, I thought they just had an announcement about raising another 13%, so.
Well, it doesn't affect us yet. So
Right, I don't think we've gotten that formal communication yet, but unfortunately, I think this is gonna be one of the, well, I think we all know, for those of us that have been on council for more than a couple years, if there's one constant, it's Clevo raising our prices. Either it's the fixed cost or it's the commodity charge, so.
So in the coming months, we'll make sure that we get that information to you and bring it to council. It's just informational.
All right, thank you.
Any questions?
Okay, yep, you're up next. Item number H, OMID spring debt and water bond invoices.
Every year at this time, we have to pay mostly interest on our sewer bonds. So I'm asking for the Oakland Comb Interceptor debt invoice to make a payment in an amount of $19,853.79. And we also have our water bond that will be getting on March 25th, and that's for $186,534.83. So I just need approval for those. I need 2 motions.
This is our, I think you said semi-annually, it's twice a year that we have to pay.
Yes.
How close are we?
You will be dead.
If I remember correctly, I think there's a number of bonds that start falling off in 2030.
The water,
The water is getting close. It was, I don't remember this, I have to look it up and tell you. But it is getting close. It's like 2031, I'm thinking.
It's one I think a lot of them are starting to fall off, is like 2030.
Yeah, when we said 2030, something like this at falling off, but I think that one was 2031.
I'll make a motion that we authorize payment on the OMID bonds in the amount of $19,853.79, in the water bond, the revolving fund, in the amount of $186,534.83.
It's been moved and supported that we pay both of our invoices in the aforementioned amount. I'm gonna, for discussion on the motion, I did look it up while you were making your motion. The drinking water revolving loan bond payoff date, the maturity date is April 1st, 2030. So it's very close. Still up in the air for some of us, but hopefully we'll see that day. Yes, yeah, the bond maturity dates, we do start to see the bonds falling off in 2030, 2031, 2032, 33, 34, every year really, it seems like there will be one or two bonds falling off, so that is
Good news.
much relief.
Until they add new ones.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and that's, yeah, I don't know why.
Until another
maintenance-
sinkhole or
Yes.
more maintenance is required. Alrighty, so it has been moved and supported that we pay the two amounts, $19,853.79 for OMID and the $186,534.83 for the water bond. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Hedges?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Perpoli?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gazel. Call from the floor, limited to 3 minutes. Everybody's looking like it's that time of the night.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I had to jinx
Had to come back. No, just thinking on the sidewalk, I know you hammered that for a long time, but I think that, you know, getting into every owner of property is responsible for their property. Everybody on that home with sidewalks. And I don't think that you guys should be making no other rules that, you know, people have a business or whatever, they're responsible for cleaning their sidewalks, and they should continue to do that. And that's all I want to say. And so when y'all making your decision or who, and safety comes first. That's all.
Thank you, brother. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Call from the table. All right. We do have closed session on the agenda. We will come back for a motion after the closed session. So that said, we do have I have the verbiage here for the motion, if somebody could make. Just remember to add and to discuss litigation.
Potential.
Potential litigation. Make a motion that we go into closed session at 8:44 pursuant to MCL 15.268D to consider strategy and negotiations in connection with the purchase and lease of real property and to discuss a potential threat to litigation.
Second.
Been moved and supported that we go into closed session at 8:44. Yes.
Trustee Perpoli?
Yes.
Trustee Hedges? Yes. Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
Yes. All right, thank you. Motion to go back into open session at 9:33. It's been moved and supported that we go back into open session at 9:33. Roll call, please.
Who supported it?
Me.
Okay. Trustee Dilbert?
Oh.
Yes.
Trustee Perpoli?
Yes.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
Trustee Hedges?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. I thought I was making the motion and that Trustee Dilbert was supporting, but it sounds like we have support either way.
Okay.
Well, I'll support it.
All right, we have a first motion in order, and I think that we are all going to defer to Clerk Whitsett to tell us what the wording of that motion was.
The motion was to follow the advice of counsel and to advise the fire chief to advise the necessary parties. Who's making the motion?
Me.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we do what Clerk Whitsett said.
I like that. That's my favorite motion.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Capoli.
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert.
Yes.
Trustee Nona.
Yes.
Trustee Hashem.
Yes.
President Bison.
Yes. Second motion that you may, clerk, what's up?
To proceed as discussed and recommended in closed session. Who's making the motion? Don't everybody talk at once. It was for the second subject.
Could you read that again?
To proceed as discussed and recommended in closed session. For the second topic.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second.
Support.
Okay.
It's been moved and supported that we proceed as discussed in closed session. Discussed and recommended in closed session. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dilbert.
Yes.
Trustee Hashem.
Yes.
Trustee Capoli.
Yes.
Trustee Nona.
Yes.
President Bison.
Yes. And I think the remaining motion was a motion to,
Adjourn.
no, we had the repair of the parking lot, subject to the terms of the, amicable terms of the repairs.
Correct.
Oh, I thought that was part of that second one.
Well, actually, it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Was
Yeah,
it? Was
it's
it
covered.
part of that? Okay.
Yeah.
It's covered.
All right.
We're good then.
That's why I wasn't gonna vote against.
Okay. Then a different motion is in order.
Motion to adjourn, 9:35.
Or, I'll make it.
It's been moved and supported that we adjourn at 9:35.